All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining me today. I am bringing on the one and only Ranger. We're going to talk all about Omicrons in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. We're going to rank the best Omicrons in Grand Arena and Territory Wars, and we do not give one about territory battles.
No.
They exist.
No, Mr. Darth. No use. No, don't do it.
No.
They do exist. You really don't need them. You're going to be just fine. Trust us, guys. The water's fine. Just don't think about TB Omicrons. It's going to be okay.
And I'm super excited today that our video is sponsored by the Ridge wallets. These are the best wallets on the market, my friends. I'm not just saying that. It's literally how I felt for years. And so when I saw the Ridge offering to sponsor me, I was like, yes, send me a wallet. This is amazing. And this is by far my new favorite wallet. These are very sleek, minimalist, hardcore, very sturdy wallet design. This is carbon fiber right here. They have titanium options, holds up to 12 cards, RFID blocking technology, and everything that comes along with that. So very, very cool. And what's really cool also, if you guys like these wallets too, 15% off for everybody watching this video right now. Follow the link down below, ridge.com/CUBSFANHAN, and you too can have an amazing Ridge wallet. Check it out. All right, let's get into this. We're going to start with the Grand Arena side of the list and go from there. So, and we're going to do top 5 for both, all right? Number 5 is your boy, the Wampa. Cornered beast. And this has been proven to be a very, very solid Omicron, even though they kind of adjusted something before launch. Now that we're seeing this, I mean, short of taking GLs on, I think this is pretty...
it's taking GLs on. It's taking GLs on. It happened today. Arnold actually used a solo Wampa to beat a C team today. So it just took out its first GL. Why? Because C could not get to ultimate. Why? Because there's only one person on the field who just happened to be Womp.
Who places Sith Eternal on defense, though?
Me. But you have to counter, but I think if he was facing RRSG guy Loki today, and I think if Malik had been on the team, because that's who I put on there to counter like Troopers and some other teams, some other nonsense, that would have been a totally different story. But he didn't, and with nothing to, I mean, Wampa just ate his lunch. So yeah, it was shocking. But yeah, outside of that, I mean, he's soloing on Mothma teams. I mean, he's eating. That boy is eating.
And it doesn't appear like a nerf is around the corner. I feel like there's been enough testing, enough footage out there that something would have been said by now. So I feel safe equipping this Omicron. I'm going to be giving this one out as soon as I possibly can. I'm about halfway to my next Omicron. So, yep.
Yeah, I'll be doing it Monday.
Very solid. All right, number 4. We got Iden Versio, exactly as planned. This is proven to be a very miserable Omicron to go against in Grand Arena.
Yeah, you have to have certain teams to counter it. Now, I mean, certain teams will counter it hard, but if you don't, or if it's just the way where you place her, where they don't have those specific teams, you're in trouble. That is a badass Omicron. And when you get your Iden maxed out with the rest of the troopers on that team maxed out, because even at low stars and low gear for that team, it is very disgusting. I had BCM on today on my show for GAC, and he talks about how that team gets him holds all the time because people even in lower divisions, they don't have the counters like, say, me and you might have for Iden if we run into. So yeah, very, very good. Very, very good Omicron.
Good to highlight as well. I'm glad you said that because I'm seeing this used on a very regular basis at 3 stars, gear 10, 11, somewhere around there. And, just dominating still. I'm seeing lots of holds. And that's a character that early and mid-game players can have access to very early. So this might be Ranger. I think Qui-Gon Jinn is definitely a candidate who is going to show up on this list, of course. But maybe one of the better early game Omicrons.
It is. I think it is. And I mean, you get a lot of value out of it, and you just can't beat it. I mean, a character 3 stars, gear 11 that can do really good work for you and get you holds on defense, or you can use them for offense too. I mean, she's fantastic on offense at that level. I mean, it's a really good Omicron. It's just in that Omicron, she does well without it, but it's just that delicious topping, that extra chocolate sauce on the Trooper Sundae that just makes it that much sweeter.
Yeah, just so much health, so much protection, all the turn meter gain. It's absolutely
good.
Disgusting. All right, next up, there he is, Qui-Gon Agility training, number
Still
3
good.
on the list. Still solid, still getting defensive holds. It has some crippling counters, but pretty much any counter you're going to use against Qui-Gon, you're spending something valuable. And so I don't think that necessarily means that it doesn't have use. Probably the best counter that I see is Bad Batch. That is maybe the cheapest counter, but not everyone's going to have a maxed out Bad Batch team that can handle Qui-Gon Jinn. So a little bit above Iden, but I think it's kind of close almost between Iden and Qui-Gon.
Yeah, again, another Omicron. We mean before the kit got changed, right? The nerf, if you want to call it that, whatever you want to call it, was really overpowered, taking out Geos. And then once people started to figure out the kit and how to do it, you can even two-shot this team. If you kill Qui-Gon and it wipes you out, all right, then you just have a bunch of Jedi afterwards. So you can two-shot it. But Bad Batch, hard counter. There's a few other teams that are hard counter to this team. So you see a lot of people actually using it for offense because at least they can control, what happens in the team. And then bam, they hit that Jedi Anakin, AoE, and then they've got 62 banners on offense. Is still nothing to sneeze at. It's still a really good score. So, I mean, you can use it on offense or put in I say if for Qui-Gon, put it in the back line as a surprise team, for GAC.
I like that idea.
Catch somebody off guard because you're not thinking about it. Maybe you use your Bad Batch, one of those other teams on the front, and you're like
Grievous on the front, Bad Batch, and agility training on the back.
There you go.
Yeah. Okay. Good call. Not much more to say about Qui-Gon. Zam comes in at number 2. This Omicron, there's just so much there, and if you don't kill her, you're going to be stuck pretty quick. Zam instead gains 60% increases to offense, max health, max protection, 5% speed for each bounty hunter ally. Other bounty hunter allies gain 20% of Zam's current offense, max health, protection, and speed until the first time she's defeated. It's just basically every good stat gets multiplied on this Omicron. And I have seen bounty hunters. I mean, what I love also about this Omicron is just the sheer versatility of it, Ranger, because it's fantastic. It performs incredibly on defense, but it also enables you to take out like Darth Revan teams and really solid teams on offense as well if you want to hang on to it.
Well, it's helping people do the one shot on Ahsoka on a GK team.
Yeah.
You go in there and you one shot, and then you do the 2-shot against JMK if you need to do that. I mean, and not just on typical bounty hunter teams, but you're seeing it being used more with Fennec and Dad Bod Boba Fett with IG Quill, and using those against like Lord Vader's to get the extra stats and the boost to really make them hit really super hard and take out, just it punches above its weight, and it's meant to punch above its weight, and it really does. That team she is really dynamite. You have to really think about when you're facing a bounty hunter team on defense. As long as you outspeed it, you can use your own bounty hunters, you're fine. If you don't, with any team, you're in big trouble. Do not mess around with that team. You will get nuked before you even know what hit you.
All right. Couldn't have said it better myself. Number 1 overall is Starkillers. There is much conflict. Now, we did agree we're not going to double dip on characters, so we could probably look at the other Starkiller Omicrons, and they might rank above Qui-Gon or Zam. We just want to have only one character in each slot. But when it comes to there is much conflict, this is the best Starkiller Omicron. And I don't think it's really much of a debate. I mean, just look at... Now, obviously, you do have to have that specific team for this to apply, or the specific factions for this condition to apply, which I think why we're seeing 3v3 Grand Arena get held for the moment. But tanks are going to taunt. Allies all get a 35 speed boost. Debuffed enemies are going to deal 50% less damage. Whenever a Sith ally uses a basic ability, Starkiller will assist with 20% less damage. It's just like a dissertation here. Whenever a dark side unaligned force user uses a special ability, all allies gain crit hit immunity for 1 turn. When Starkiller uses a special ability, light side healer allies have their cooldowns reduced by 4, and Jedi tank allies gain damage immunity and taunt for 1 turn. Need I say more?
It's the grossest thing ever. I've been testing out which is better. He's fantastic on offense. He is ridiculous on defense. The team I'm running with is Palp lead with Mara Jade, and she's at 360 speed. She gets 70 speed from this setup because he gets 35 and then 35. So she's going at 430. And then the call and assist with Mara Jade Palpatine, and Starkiller, along with the other stuff that you just mentioned. And you can even, and I'm putting Mace in that team with the new reworked Mace. I was using GK. They both work. They're both awesome. It's a nightmare to face on defense. I've run teams against it like SLKR and barely won. You know, it is sick. Now, it's interesting you mentioned the other two Omicrons. You can get away with just having there as much conflict in you with Starkiller and BOK. The other two are nice, but they're not necessary. They help. Don't get me wrong. They add. They don't just subtract. They add. But you can get away with, if you only have that one Omicron, please put it on. If you have Starkiller, there is much conflict. The other two you can work on eventually later. But let's say you're missing some like on Zam. If you're thinking about the other two for Starkiller or Zam, put the one on Zam first before you think about putting the other two on Starkiller, because he will work just fine without those two, more than Zam not having one. So just a little trick of the trade there that we've been seeing out there in GAC land.
Yeah, pro tip. And then you get Omicron benefit on more than one team instead of just the Starkiller team. I think that's great. Yeah, I would definitely want to have pretty much all 5 of these Omicrons. If I am a Grand Arena player, all 5 of these Omicrons are on my list. And that's just pretty much the way it goes. And in this order, unless I don't have Starkiller, then I'd go Zam, Qui-Gon, just right in this order. Maybe Cornered Beast first. Actually, I don't know. Having that as an offensive tool, it's just amazing.
Pretty nice. Yeah, it's super nice. And where you are with your roster will dictate a little bit too, which one maybe you go for first and what you're working on, just if you're a newer mid-tier game player. So yeah, absolutely.
All right, guys, that's the first half of the video. We're actually going to record 2 videos here. You guys have seen the first half. Come tomorrow for the next half to find out what our top Territory Wars rankings are. Thank you so much for joining me, Ranger.
Always a pleasure to hang out with you and the fam.
As always, my brothers, don't forget.